Hi, it's Wani at CDWanny on YouTube. If you like adventurous or humorous stories, well, this is a channel for you because this is where we tell them. If you have a story yourself that you would love to tell on this channel, please send it to me at cdwanny@yahoo.com, and we'll put your story up here on our channel. And if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. If you want to use your real name, that's terrific too. But we'll get your stories up there. Also, if you like this channel, be sure and hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy this story, be sure and hit the like button. And if you want to be alerted for future stories as they come out, be sure and hit the bell. But anyway, today's story, it involves kind of the theme of my life. And that is that any job that I do that involves an engine or making something or any kind of construction, the rule is that 90% of the job takes 10% of the time, and the remaining 10% of the job will take 90% of the time. It's just a story of my life. And what makes it even more frustrating is my brother is just the complete opposite. He can, tear down a Pratt & Whitney Boeing engine and put it back together in about 10 minutes. I, on the other hand, I've got 11 thumbs and I can't get it done. For the life of me, I cannot get it done. But anyway, let's get on with our story. Okay, so it was a spring and kind of a later spring, and I had put off mowing my yard. It had got unreasonably high, and so finally I buckled down and said, today is the day I'm going to get out and I'm going to mow my yard. And so I went out, fired up the lawnmower, got to going, and unfortunately most lawnmowers that you buy today, the walk-behinds, most of them are self-propelled. And the two front tires on them, they got little gears in them that move the tires around. Well, one of my tires on the right-hand side, it had gotten stripped, and so it wasn't moving. All my lawnmower wanted to do was go around in circles, just driving off of that one wheel. And so I thought, well, no problem. I'll just replace the wheel. It's just a plastic wheel with gear teeth in the middle. Nothing to it, right? So I get out my tools and I start unscrewing stuff, and I go to pull the wheel off, and it won't come off. And so I get underneath and I'm checking, the assembly and everything. And it's like, okay, all I got to do is take that off and should be good to go. So it still won't come off. And so I go to my best friend when it comes down to these things, and that is YouTube. Somebody on YouTube has a how to fix this problem channel. And so I just type in the model of my lawnmower and my problem, and sure enough, there's about 1,000 videos that pop up. And so I always watch at least 2 or 3 to make sure that I'm not watching an idiot, much like you guys are right now. And so I go back out and I go, okay, I did this, I did that. Okay, it should just pop right off. Well, it will not come off. And so I get a hammer and I get underneath it and I start tapping it. And finally, there was so much crud in there, I guess, that it finally broke free and it come off. And I thought, okay, cool. But that was just the first problem. And when you run into a problem when you're doing a project like this, it seems like after the first problem, the problems only compound after that. You think, okay, I got the problem out of my way. Now it's smooth sailing from here on out. No, that is a lie. So I take my tire and I take it down to the place I bought my lawnmower, thinking, well, this is where I'm going to find exactly what I need. And naturally, I get down there and they look up in their catalog and they look behind the counter and they go walk their aisles and they go, well, unfortunately, your model of tire is discontinued. And I said, okay, not an exact match. Do you have anything close? And they go, yeah, this ought to do you just fine. I go, is it the same diameter? And they go, no, it's not. It's a little bit bigger. And I said, great. So my lawnmower is going to pull to one side. You know what? At this point, I don't even care. Just give me the tire. I'll make a Frankenstein mower. So here's the money for my Franken wheel, and I'll go home and put it on my Franken mower, and it'll all be good. So I figure I take the wheel back, and I just reverse process what I had to do to get it off, and I should be mowing my yard within like 5 minutes. Well, it will not go back on, and you got to thread the wheel through the axle rod that comes up, and then the axle rod has threads around it that you screw the nut down onto to fasten it into the assembly on there. And I can't, it will not go on, and I'm just trying to force it, and I'm checking it to make sure that the hole's right, and it looks like it should go through. So never force anything, right? Just use a bigger hammer. So I get a hammer and I start tapping this thing down. Well, the little axle rod with the threads on it sticking up, I accidentally hit that pretty hard with the hammer, enough to damage it and bend it a little bit and screw up the threads. So now there's no way my wheel's going back on. I've got a bent rod, and there's no way, even if I get it through, that I'm going to be able to thread a nut on there to keep it on. So now I'm screwed. I go back to the place where I bought the mower. Like I said, they're discontinued. We just don't carry that. But you can check this website, that website, and blah, blah, blah. So I do. And I find a place, and they give me a phone number to call them up and order it. And of course, things are already going wrong. So why should they get better at this point? So I call up anywhere, corporate America. If you speak English, hit 1. If you want to talk to the guy's dog, hit 2. Sales, service, blah, 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 blah. So I do that. Then I listen to this music on hold that has me contemplating suicide. And it's not like you just get to listen to the music, this horrific music for like 30 seconds. No, it goes on for 10 minutes. And then that stretches into an hour. And then it's horrible. And then I finally get to talk to a sales representative. Unfortunately, the sales representative, English was not their first language. And so I don't mean to disparage anybody with an accent, but I have crappy hearing to begin with. And then you mix an accent into that, and it's just difficult communication. And so I'm struggling with this too. And I said, yes, it's the right hand assembly, this model number, blah, 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 blah. And they said, okay, thank you very much. It'll be there in about a week. Okay, my grass was bad before. It's going to be really bad in a week. So in a week, my part gets here. I walk out to my mailbox. The grass is tickling my knees as I walk out there. I bring it in. I'm happy. I can finally get this grass under control, because right now it's just looking sorry outside. That's all I can tell you. My yard is just looking sorry. And usually I take quite a little bit of pride in my yard, but not this time. It was just looking bad. And so I break open the assembly. I go to put it on, and they sent me the left hand assembly instead of the right. Get on phone, hit 1, hit 4, hit 5, end up talking to the accent guy again. What's my order number? So I tell him. My frustration is just growing and growing and growing. And he goes, yeah, I got your order number here, and you ordered it for this side. I said, that's right, but you sent it for the wrong side. And they said, no problem. We'll totally replace it for you. I said, thank you. And they said, just send us back the old part. As soon as we get verification that we received that, we'll send you the new part. And I can't, but maybe it's my age. Yeah, I just can't imagine the customer service that I'm not receiving at this point. You guys have already acknowledged that you screwed up, sent me the wrong part. You can't just send it right now. They have to, and let them cross in the mail. Nope, they have to receive it first. Okay, so I send it. They send it back. So by mail order, this has been a 3-week process now. And finally my new part comes, and I walk out to the mailbox to get it. The grass has gone past my knees. Now it's tickling my dangly parts as I walk out there. My house looks like it should be featured on an episode of Cops where they go bust the meth house, and there's no maintenance done on this meth house. The yard is just out of control. But anyway, I finally get the part. I put it back together, and what should have been a 15-minute operation wound up taking me 3 weeks. Like I said, the first 90% of the job, 10% of the time. Last 10% of the job, more than 90% of the time. But that's a story of my life. If you guys have similar stories, crap like this happens to you, email me at CDWanny@yahoo.com and I'll get your stories up here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.